Good morning, and welcome to another Sunday Live, where we do a 20 question mock test, answer any questions you guys may have. I'm sorry, I'm just setting up my windows. So yeah, if you guys got any questions about your theory, your driving, and turn that down. Your driving lessons, driving tests, anything driving related, pull it in the comment section. Put a Q semicolon. It makes it easy for me to find, so it should look like that in the comments. Q semicolon, then type your question. Let me just get the comment section up. So hopefully you've had a good weekend. So at least you kept going 5 times. Trust me, I've seen a lot of people do take it a lot more times than that, but at least you kept going, which is the most important thing. Never give up, because if you give up, there's no chance of passing. No problem, but thank you for coming to the live. Like I said, it takes great effort to, if you haven't done it before, to come to the live and give thanks. I appreciate it. It inspires other people to do their theory test. That's why I like when you guys come to the live session and say that you have passed. Appreciate it. Becky, good morning to you. I am fine. How are you? There's Rena, good morning to you, and how are you? Level crossing is not working. Operator said you go. What should you do? Go safely. I don't know what the options are. So that's a real life question, as in not in the apps. It's one that's talking about the gate. I don't know if it's that one. If it's the gate one, then you open both gates at the same time and then drive through that stopping. But you haven't given me the options. I can't tell you what the answer is, because, as I said, it's a real question on the theory test. So I'm leaning over because I'm using my iPad for the 20 questions. I'm just move that out of the way for now so I can see the comments. Oh, so crowded on this desk. Sorry, I should put it back. I didn't comment on that. My theory test on the 30th of April. I've been watching your videos. I've not seen your name before, so first and foremost, welcome, and hopefully it goes well for you on the 30th. While you're here, if you've got any questions, ask it, because that's why I go live, to answer your personal questions rather than searching through YouTube and looking through videos for answers. Yes, if it's this on the 30th, you've got another Sunday live, I believe, one more. So please come back next week and let us know how you got on as well when you take the test. But yeah, if you've got any questions, while you're here, ask it. Can't hear anything. I've got good morning, no audio. Good morning, can't hear anything. Is that for everybody? Because it's going out live. My audio says it's good. I can hear. It's good. Type in the comments if you can't hear. Sorry, type. It's like quite a few of you. I don't know. Why is it not coming out live? So just make sure it's clear. Type in the comment section if you can't hear me. If you can hear me. If you can't hear me, you can't hear what I'm saying. Duh. So hold on 1 second, let me find that. So you guys can't hear me, is what you're saying. Hold on, let me see something. Hold on. Right, so I've got, I can hear, not everybody. At this time I can hear you clearly. I can hear I can hear clearly. Yeah, it's not on my side because according to my levels, everything's going out. I can hear in my ears, which suggests it's going out. So if you can't hear me, it is going to be an issue on your side or YouTube side, one of the two. But if some people can hear me and some people can't, it's not my issue. That's the thing I've got to make quite clear. So that's got to be a YouTube issue or something on your side. So hopefully you guys get that sorted out. Becky's still saying I can't hear. But as I said, there's nothing I can do about that. It's not my side because everything is going out clearly. I apologize if you guys can't hear, but I've got to continue. But like I said, some people can, some people can't. But that's a YouTube thing. It's not my side because nothing on my side suggests there's a problem. Just double check that. Nothing on my side says there's a problem. All right, sorry. Let me go back to where I was. Here we are. I just got my provisional license. Congratulations. How should I prepare for my theory? I already downloaded the 4-in-1. Well, you're already there. You downloaded the 4-in-1, which is the most important thing. What I would suggest you do is do the categories. It's 14 categories. It's the theory test is made up of 14 different categories, which I'll go over in a second. Do each category in turn, and then what I would do is start doing mock tests after that. Once you start passing mock tests on a regular basis, then I would think about booking the exam. That's what I would do. Good morning to you. Again, I've not seen your name before, so welcome. Well done for passing first time. Congratulations. Andrew, good morning. I'm here again to learn. I booked my ferry for the 6th of May, which is literally around the corner, a couple of weeks from now, to be fair. So hopefully, Andrew, you're in good shape for that. Yeah, like I said, some people saying they can't hear me, some people saying they can. If you can hear me, and some people can't, it's a YouTube thing. You need to look at the settings on your side, whether it's on your phone, TV, whatever it is you're watching, because I can't go out to some people hearing and some people can't. If it was across the board, they can't hear me, then it's my problem. But it does, like I said, some people can, some people can't. That's a YouTube issue. That's on their side, not my side. Because like I said, all my levels are saying this going out quite clear. So I apologise for that. I passed my first test last month. Congratulations. I've not seen your name before, so welcome to, first of all. 43 and 65 has perception site driving practice. No problem. Thanks for the appreciation. And your test is in August. Again, that will go pretty quickly during the summer months. So I wish you the luck with the driving. Come back and let me know how you got on with the driving, because I'd like to know you guys completed the journey. Good morning to you. Again, someone said I'm muted. I'm not. Desrina said I can hear. Not everybody at this time I can hear. I can hear clearly. Samuel says I can hear. Pass my test 46 and 65. High scores. No problem. You're welcome. See, I can hear. I keep having 40, but 45, 47 on the app. If you're getting 47 has a perception, that still needs work. Because if you're taking tests and still getting 47, there's an issue with the scoring. But the reason why you're getting 40, I have 45, 47 on the app. The reason why you're getting 40. One of the reasons why you get 40 on the real test is because you don't understand the question. Let me quickly do this and I'll come back to it. Let me just start this. I'll come back to it. Let me just do this. Right. The test is... Sorry, move this out of the way. Right. The test is multiple choice, 50 questions. The test is made up of 14 different categories. On your app, this explains, is it Lumis? Hopefully I'm saying that right. One of the reasons why, the common reasons why someone gets 40 on the real test, or roughly around about 40, and getting 45, 46 on the apps is because the app only has 780 odd questions. I think 774 to be fair. But anyway, on the real test, they have a 1,500 questions to choose from on their database. The questions on the apps are sampled questions. Some of you are still taking a test on the apps thinking it's the real questions, memorize, blah, blah, blah. Go for the real test. It's worded differently, and there's some questions that you have never seen before. So when you go for your test, you can't answer it. When you are studying on the apps, you are supposed to understand what they are asking. When you answer the question, as in get the answer correct, you are supposed to understand why the answer is correct. So when you go for the real test, when it's worded differently, different answer, worded different, whatever it is, the understanding is still there. Like I said, you guys are memorizing questions. Most cases, it's not intentional, but because the app keeps throwing the same questions, same answers at you, it just becomes a memorizing exercise. That's why your score doesn't go up to 40, 41s passing the real test, but it stays at 44, 45 on the apps. So like I said, it's about understanding. It's not just passing on mock tests on the apps. It's about understanding the question, what they are asking, and understanding the answer, why the answer is what it is. So hopefully that helps you. But I would definitely still practice with the hazard perception. Now 47 on the app is low, because again, on the apps there's only a certain amount of videos, and once you start to see the videos again and again, you just know where the problem is. You need to understand where what a hazard is, which gives you a higher score. There's no guarantee you're going to pass on the real test as well. Time, you have 57 minutes to do the 50 questions, which is more than enough time to study and work out and look for clues in the question, look for clues in the answer. Hazard perception is 14 videos, 13 of them have single hazard, one of them's got a double. You don't know which one's the double, so you just need to keep clicking. I will show you a technique. I always do a demonstration now because that's a massive thing for everyone still struggling with hazard perception. Some of the answers, common sense, just sit there and try to work out. If you don't know what the answer is, just try to work out which one makes sense, as in leads to safety. You don't need to have driving lessons to answer those type of questions, but in the ideal world, you want to be taking driving lessons alongside your theory, because you'll understand fully what safety means when it comes to driving. If it doesn't lead to safety, the answer, then it's going to be a controlled outcome, because your driving test is based on safety and control. That's what the examiner is looking for on your test. If you struggle with your theory, I do run a 30-day study camp. As much as it's called 30-day study camp, you can stay in there as long as it takes for you to pass. You have access until you pass, but 30 days is the sweet spot, because once you start to go over 30 days or using the apps, the question gets repeated again and again, and then it becomes that memorizing exercise, which I just spoke about with Lumis, I think it was. So you've got to be very careful that you don't spend 2 months, 3 months studying again and again on the apps, because the questions get exhausted and you just start to memorize answers with that. But if you do struggle, the link is in the description with that. All right, let's go back to the comments before we start this test. You're from Bristol, welcome. Becky's saying still can't hear. There was a time network breach, but it's okay now, we can hear. Audio keeps going on and off. All right, so everyone said they can hear now. As like I said, that's a YouTube thing. Unfortunately, there's nothing to do with me because everything I've got in front of me is solid. And I'm on a wired connection as well, so it's all going through. But I'm glad you guys can hear anyway, which is the most important thing. 7th of May, again, just around the corner, a couple of weeks. So hopefully you are ready for that. Again, if you guys got any questions, especially if you've got a test coming up, type them in the comment section. Let's get you guys sorted and passed. Summer's coming now. You really want to get your driving lessons booked in and hopefully pass before the summer's done. Comfort, welcome. First of all, I've not seen your name before, but welcome and thank you for the comments in the section. And well done for passing. Hopefully you will pass. First try, Friday, 44 out of 50, 58, 75. I've not seen your name before, so again, welcome. All these names I've not seen before, welcome. I appreciate you guys being there on a Sunday. Giving it up. How many hazard perception test questions are we to expect on the day? How many hazard perception test questions are there? Oh, you see, if you was my student, you're asking me that, I'll be worried, and I'll tell you why. Because that suggests you don't know how the theory test works. It's the same as the app. If you're doing mock tests on the app, it's the same 50 questions, 57 minutes. The app doesn't change, and it's 14 videos on the hazard perception test. 14 videos, 13 of them have single hazards. So yeah, if you're asking me that question, I would be worried if it was my student. But yes, 50 questions, 57 minutes, 14 videos, and that just runs and runs until the 14 video finish. It's the same on the app if you're taking mock tests. It doesn't change. As I said, the app is designed to give you an taster of what it's like on a day. You guys can hear me now. Good morning. I've not seen your name before, so welcome. Definitely welcome to you. Still can't hear anything. Took my test on Wednesday, watched several of your videos and tried out so many mocks. I got 39 in multiple tries, 44 in hazard perception during the test. The link is in the description, but again, just picking up on what you said, I took my test on Wednesday, watched several of your videos and tried out so many mocks. That's the bit that would worry me. Tried out so many mocks, I got 39. The title of this video was mock test equals failing, or to something to that description. Again, what I'm noticing in the study camp, even though I've not been in there this week for personal reasons, a lot of students have passed, but those students that passed before they came to the study camp was doing mock tests after mock test after mock test. Mock test is the worst way to study. And the reason why, the app is designed to give you 50 questions, just like the real test. So when you take the 50 questions, let's just say for argument's sake, you got 40 out of 50. The app will give you those 10 questions you got wrong, and then maybe a different 40 questions. You're not being exposed to all the questions in the app. That's why I suggest you do category by category. That way you got all the questions done. And now what you do is take mock tests because you got all the information, and that mock test will show you any weaknesses. When you get, in your case, you got 39. So the question is, was you exposed to all the questions on the app? And the answer, if you're doing mock test after mock test, is no. Not only that, did you understand the questions? Did you understand the answer? Again, the answer is no, because you got 39. Doing mock tests, I repeat again, after mock test is not the way to go. Do the categories individually, pass every single category, all 14 of them, and then you go up to mock test. And the mock test, if you're using the 4-in-1 app, it tells you your strongest category, it tells you your weakest category. And obviously, if your weakest category, just for argument's sake, was road signs, you now go back to the road signs category, redo that, do another mock test, and again, hopefully that category doesn't show up as a weakness. Another category may, and then you do that. That's the best way to go. Doing mock test isn't the way to go. So hopefully that makes sense. All right, let me just do the link in the description. Oh, let me do it again. The link is in the description. I'll just put it in there, and I'll put the link is in the comment section if you guys want to join. But before you do that, don't just sign up. Read up on it. Know what you're getting, because it is you putting work. I'm working with you. After this YouTube live, for example, 1 o'clock, we have a live review session. We go live review every Wednesday. and every Sunday, where I go into your personal Fairy Test Pro account. I can see how you studied, how long you studied. I can see how you answered the questions, what questions you're getting right, what questions wrong. I can even review your hazard perception. So we go into your account and we make sure you got a plan for the following week. That's why we had so many passes this week in the study camp. So know what you're getting, because it's not just about me giving you answers, it's about you working with me to pass that test. So if you're not willing to do the work, then don't join. It's not about that. All right, let's do this. And I'm gonna come back to your comments, because that's why you guys are here. Hopefully everything's working now, because you guys saying you can hear me. Right. Sorry. Let's just do these ones quickly. Good morning. Good morning to you. Henry, the link is in the comments section. Thank you for teaching a pass on Wednesday. Congratulations on passing. 47 and 65. Well done to you. I've got my theory on Thursday. Wish you luck. I'll definitely wish you luck. Please come back next week. Let us know how you got on. But I'll definitely wish you luck again. If you got any questions, put it in the comments section. Let's get you sent in there Thursday confidently. Good morning to you again. I've not seen your name before, so welcome. I can't pronounce your name, but welcome. It's your first time here, so welcome again. The link is in the description and the link is in the comment section now. And hello, I want to say thank you. I passed my first test on the 11th of March, 46, 55. Well done. Again, thank you for that. Another pass. Beth lady, I've not seen you before, definitely. 48.50 because of your help. Thank you. Congratulations. All right, let me do this. Right, so what I've done, share my screen. I'll be using the 4-in-1 because the other app that I've been using have been repeating questions on a regular basis each week, same questions. So we're going to use the app. You can't see the numbers. This is number 1, obviously. I'll tell you what the number is. And I'm using the 4-in-1 app, Driving to Success. I recommend stuff that I use. So first question is, what type of vehicle should you be ready to give way to as you approach? Obviously, the first line, bicycles, would be A, buses B, motorcycles C, cars D. If you are using the app, when it's got images, you can press on the image and it enlarges it. My advice when you go for the real test, if it's got images, sometimes there's clues in the image. So have a good look at the image first, take in the information, and then go looking for the answer. And now you can see the answers, isn't it? So remember, this is question 1. Please put question number, and even though you can't see it, I've told you what it is. Also got 38.51. I don't know if it's a mock test or a real test. I've got to be a real test, I would imagine. 38 out of 50. What's that? 12 questions wrong. That's a lack of knowledge. 12 questions wrong will work at about 8 categories, give or take. There's only 14 categories, so that's over half. That's a lack of knowledge. You got 51. I'm assuming 51 has perception, which is okay. So that's pretty much sorted. Yeah, I would go back to doing categories on that and get the knowledge up. First attempt, congratulations, good morning. Tested on Friday, good reading, I'm hoping to pass, got so much confidence. Just don't be overconfident. I like students with confidence, just don't be overconfident because you can get complacent. When you go in there, make sure you stick to the ground rules, read the questions carefully, read all the answers carefully and look for clues in those questions. Remember, you've got to lead to safety and a controlled outcome. So confidence is good, but overconfident can lead to complacency. So be careful. But I wish you luck with that. Please come back next week and let us know how you got on. All right, let's take a look. I'll just show you guys. I did put the link in the description. The link is for the bootcamp for those who are asking. But like I said, please read up on it. Don't just sign up, because you do have to put some work in, and I will do the best to my ability to help you pass when you're in there. Someone's got cars in there. That's D. With this question, I will add, if you like I said, if you look at the image, it's got the height on there. That's the reason why. And like I said, it's about understanding why the answer is what it is. The reason being a bus, and let me just quickly explain as well. Again, someone's gone for a D. Buses and lorries, the answer could be lorries when you take the real test. This is what I'm saying about understanding. Have to drive down the middle of the roads because they have to go through the bridge, under the bridge. So the heights, they have to drive down the middle of the tunnel. That's why they're going to be in the middle of the road. Where cars, for those of you doing driving lessons, know that you're going to be 1 meter from the curb. The height doesn't affect you. So on the real test, it could be buses as an answer, which this one is. Let me just take that now. Lorries would be the other option, or they could do it collectively and say high-sided vehicles. So just group it all as one, high-sided vehicles. And this is why I'm saying that you do need to understand the question, and you do need to understand why the answer is what it is. But also, if you're going for cars, you don't drive down the middle of the road for a car. Right, so question 2 is a case study. As you approach the roundabout, there's a sign showing a single white bar on the green background. What does this mean? So I'm going to play the video. I'm going to play the video again as well. This is actually better because we don't do case studies on the other app. So I'll do the video again. But before we do that, as you approach the roundabout, there's a sign showing a single white bar on the green background. What does this sign tell you? With case study videos, I always suggest you watch the videos 2 to 3 times before even answering the question. Look for the clues in the question. Look for the clues in the answer. For those of you just joined, the top line is A, second line is B, third line C, fourth line D, and this is question 2. You passed your test, well done to you. Last Monday, congratulations and thank you, because you've been a regular here on a Sunday, so thank you for coming to this live. And what are you going to do now? Driving lessons, or are you looking to book a driving test? We got 2C. Got a D here. You change your answer to a C, which is fine. That's what flagging's for. So we've got 2C, roundabout is 100 yards away. Yeah, so the green background, they're countdown markers, just in case you didn't know. And on this green and white, does anyone know what the colour stands for, by the way? So that's the bonus point. Does anyone know what the colour green and white stands for? What type of, where would you see it? 2C. So this is number 3. Oh, another video. What does the single yellow line along the side of the road mean? So single yellow, let me play the video. So it's asking for the single yellow line. I won't play this video again because the single yellow line's all the way through the video, basically. So I'll repeat, this is number 3. Dual carriageway. Yeah, so the green and white, just in case you didn't know, the countdown markers are different colours. You got blue and white for motorways, green and white for dual carriageways, so well done for knowing that. Black and white is on approach to a roundabout, and the red and white is on approach to a level crossing or a concealed entrance or exit you cannot see. So remember, this is number 3. Let me go through some of the comments. I've done that one. You've seen that before. Okay, yeah, maybe. Gears last week, questions 2 weeks ago. Thank you for all you do. No problem, you're welcome. That's why I go live, for you guys to ask personal questions to get them answered. So you don't have to keep jumping on YouTube. I got 38 of 50. Yeah, I think we've done that one. 12 questions wrong. Again, the link is in the description, but like I said, please read up, is put in the effort in, and I'll help you as best I can. I'll get you past, so there's no ifs or buts about that, as long as you do the work. Good morning to you and welcome. Congratulations on passing. Thursday gone, 46 and 66. Well done. Thank you for coming to this session. Appreciate it. Must be honest, I thought I was going to struggle because the first few questions threw me off. Yeah, never give up, because you don't know. The 50 questions, which I should have said in the beginning when I've done a review, was they're random. So if there's 10 of you in the room, it's 10 different tests. It's same 50 questions. When I say same 50 questions, it's 50 question mock test, 57 minutes for all of you. But the questions are random. So you may get the first 4 or 5 questions but seem difficult, but the next 40 odd questions could be easy. So you just never know. So the person next to you on your left could be getting 5 road signs. The person on your right could be getting 7. And you could have got 3 road signs. So it's a random test. And that's why I'm saying, again, do the categories individually, because you don't know how your test is going to be made up. But you did it. That's the most important thing. You kept going. Another pass as well. No problem. You're welcome with that. Again, thank you for coming to the live session. All right, what we are, number 3. You guys are going for C. Single yellow is weighting restrictions. Yes. Number 4. What should you? Let me just enlarge that so you guys can see it. Take the information in. What should the driver of the red car arrowed do? Yeah, like I said, as I say in my videos, what I would do when you're doing your test, the real test I'm talking about, even at home, you should be doing this at home as well. And I know most of you don't. About 75 to 80% of you don't do this at home. So when you go for the real test, it's foreign and you don't do it there as well. You should be flagging your answers. If you don't know what the answer is, or you're not sure what the answer is, you've got a doubt about the answer, whatever it is, if it's not 100% boom, I know what the answer is, you should be flagging it. Once you flag it, you move on. And then at the end of the 50th question, when you answered it, it will say to you, do you want to review your flagged questions? You're going to be saying yes, that's why you flagged it. And it takes you back to the flagged ones. And now what you can do is divide the time you got remaining with the questions you got flagged. So for example, if you've got 20 minutes remaining and you flagged 5, you know, you can spend about 4 minutes per question on that, because you know, if you only flag 3 or 4 and you're confident with the others, then you should be passing because you got 46. You flagged 4, you're going to get 46. But if you flag 8 or 9, you know you have to get the majority of the 8 or 9 right, because if you get all of them wrong, you're going to fail your theory test. And this is why I suggest you flag and then go back where you got time in a relaxed environment and spend some time looking for the clues and answers. But most of you don't flag. You literally just keep going, which is, again, not the right way to do it in a pressure situation. If unsure, flag. Got my test on Saturday. Again, I wish you luck with that. please come back next week and let us know how you got on. And while you're here, if you've got any questions, type them in. I did play the video. I don't know what question you're relating to. This is not a question. If you talk about this question, this is not a video. It's an image. It's not a video. All right, you guys have gone for B. B. Yeah, pedestrians got priority. It's always going to be. This is one of the common sense questions. To be fair, common sense answers. Pedestrians always got priority, so you should obviously stop, wait, let the pedestrian go, whatever option they want to give. Without. Number 3, Samuel, I did play the video. I said I've not played it twice because the yellow line was all the way through it, so we didn't have to play it twice with that one. But yeah, I did play the video number 3. This is question 5. You need glasses to read a vehicle number plate at the required distance. When must you wear them? I'm looking for a driving learning channel. Can you help me, please? Yes. Get your pen and paper. You are looking for Driving School TV, Francis. He's on a little mission at the moment doing lots of going around the country doing the driving test videos. But if you go back in his archives, he does driving videos, left turns, right turns, all the stuff that you need. His channel's really good. He makes it fun. You got DGN Driving School. He does a lot of mock test videos, but again, he does driving lesson videos. Clearview Driving School, she's pretty good. Does the same, driving lessons and mock test videos. There's Conquer Driving School. He's pretty good as well. Those are the channels that I recommend to my students to go and watch to pick up driving tests. You guys watch YouTube videos for passing the theory. When you pass the theory, go and watch driving videos. Trust me, it helps so much to mentally visualize what you're supposed to be doing, and you also realize that you're not alone. When you make mistakes, it's a pupil thing. It's not just a you thing. Sometimes when you guys make mistakes, you guys think, oh, it's just me that does it. Everybody else gets it easily. No, you all make the same mistakes. So yeah, those are the channels I recommend. Driving School TV, Concord Driving School, Clearview Driving School, DGN. There's other driving school channels out there, but those are the ones that I recommend to my students. Believe it or not, I actually watch those channels as well because I find it really helpful, to be fair. What are we on? 5. Let's find the 5s. But it's nice to know that you've passed the theory and you're actually going to go and take lessons. You'd be surprised how many people pass their theory and sit on it for a while. And then before they know it, you've got 6 months running and then they panic. Good morning to you. What's the first channel I recommend? Driving School TV, Francis. D is what you guys are going for. Yeah, if you do, when you go, just in case you guys don't know, when you take your driving test, you have to read a registration plate from a certain distance. If you are wearing glasses to read that registration plate, you have to wear your glasses at all times when you're driving. If you read the license plate without your glasses, you don't have to wear glasses when you're driving. But if you can't read that registration plate at the beginning of your driving test, you do not take your driving test. It doesn't even go anywhere. So if you can't read the registration plate, you ain't going anywhere. Right, so number 6. Again, blow up the image if you guys want. This is the 4-in-1 app I'm using on my iPad. Always look for clues, then read the question. What does this sign mean? Good morning, sir. Can I please join your masterclass? If you mean the study camp, the link is in the description and the link is in the comment section on that. But as I stressed earlier on, don't just come in there, sign up, read what you're getting and watch the video. There's a video that I explain in a bit more detail what you're getting for your money, basically, because you do have to put some work in. You do need to follow the plan I'm going to give you. You do need to come to the live sessions so I can talk to you personally to get the best results. If you think you're just going to sit there watching videos, don't take part in the live sessions. It's not for you. I'm struggling with gear questions in my driving theory test. Can you explain when to use low gears and high gears in an easy way? Yes. Gears. I'm struggling with gear questions. Right. I'm really. Right, let me just quickly explain about me. And this is why I do the live review sessions in the study camp. I pick up on what people say and I listen to what people say, because sometimes you pick up things while they're struggling. Usually I'm struggling with gear questions in my driving theory test, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That suggests you're doing automatic as well. Most automatic students struggle with gear questions, but that's another thing. But that's not stopping you from passing your theory test, because you don't get enough gear questions to fail off theory test. There's got to be other things as well, but that's just me being a teacher. But anyway, the question you asked, struggle with gears. You got 6 gears in a car normally. So the lower the number, the slower the car, but the more powerful the gear is. So 1 is a power gear, but drives the car at slow speed. So let me just say that again very slowly. You got 6 gears. The lower the number, the slower the car. Low number, low speed, but it is powerful. The higher the number, the weaker the gear, but the faster the car goes. So when you're doing your 60 miles, 70 miles an hour, you're going to be gear 6. Now, when to use it, you use a low gear, power, for hills up and down, because you want the power to go up the hill, but you want the car to be low speed going down the hill so you don't pick up speed. Weak gears, your 3s, 4s, 5s and 6, you'd use it for the theory test anyway on ice and snow, because you do not want power on ice and snow, because you're going to do a wheel spin. Think about if you try to sprint on an ice and snow power, you're going to slip and slide and fall over. If you do the same in a car, the wheel does a wheel spin. So you want the weak gear, probably 3rd gear, and move off very slowly. So hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, let me know. Good morning, sir. I've watched your live videos before I passed my theory test on the 2nd of April. Well done, passing 2nd of April. 48 out of 50, missed it by 2. Magical 50, 63. Already started lessons, well done. At least you, again, didn't sit on it. Go and get lessons. I want to join the class because I'm writing my exam on the 6th of next month. That's 2 weeks away. That's doable. That is definitely doable. I go live every Monday to Thursday as well, so it's worth joining the Monday class. Again, the link is in the description with that. And the link is in the comment section. Sorry, what number are we on? Number 6. That's the other thing I should have mentioned with the study camp. I do a live workshop Monday to Thursday where we cover different topics and break it down in detail. Got to see here. So Monday to Thursday, I do go live and explain it in detail. And it's all recorded. So if you can't make the live sessions, you're welcome. The video recordings are there. And the live review sessions are recorded as well. Two-way traffic crosses a two-way road. Sorry, hold on. Am I missing something here? I'm looking at the wrong person that gave a C. So you guys have gone from B. Yes. Two-way traffic crosses a one-way road. With images, you always go up. So you start at the bottom, you're going up. So you're on, for this sign, you're on the one way and you're going up, and obviously the arrow is crossing your path. You're traveling behind a moped. What should you do if you want to turn left a short distance ahead? Yeah, so this is what I'm going to come back to. Yeah, so as I was saying, I go live Monday to Thursday where we do a live session and I break down each individual category in a bit more detail. So like Monday tomorrow, we do documents, alcohol, and documents, alcohol, and legal stuff. Tires, stuff like that on Monday. Tuesday we do road signs, motorways, hazard perception. Wednesday we do trailers, gears, skidding, ABS, no ABS. And on Thursday we just do a big massive recap on everything that we've done to make sure you're on point. So that's what you get. But like I said, watch the video on the page, and that gives you a bit more explanation of what you're getting for your money. Sorry, this is number 7. I didn't tell you the number. This is number 7, by the way, for those of you who are playing along. Emmanuel, welcome. Good morning to you. Congratulations on passing. I appreciate coming to the live sessions. Let me know. And you guys are gone for B. Yeah, safety. Why is there a warning reduce speed? Now this is a video, by the way. Don't go answering the question. This is a video. Now we're on number 8. Now 7 before. On this one I can go back. So this is number 7. You're driving behind a moped. What should you do before you want to turn? And now we're on number 8. So this is a video. Do not answer the question. Watch the video. The question is, why is there a warning reduce speed now? So let me play the video. I'm going to play the video twice because I always say, with this video, I'm going to play it twice. Because I always say, watch the video 2 to 3 times before answering the question. So let me just play it again. I repeat the question. Why is there a warning reduce speed now? And these videos are your case study videos on your apps. So number 8, why do you think there's a reduced speed video now? What is a moped? A moped is what you see the Deliveroo guys drive. The Deliveroo's, Pizza Hut deliveries, that's what their drive is. A motorbike basically, but with less power. That's what a moped is. So when you do your ordering online and they come to your door, they're normally on a moped. Because all they got to do to drive the moped is a CBT test, which is a basic bike test, just to understand the basics. And then technically they can ride with that for L plate on for 2 years. And then they've got to take their call a CBT so they can go onto the bigger bike and get their full license. Let's see what you guys come for. D. But I've got A here. I've got another A. I just want to point out something as well. What is a moped? You see, that question is a good question. And this is what I'm talking about, understanding, because it's quite easy to know what the answer is, but you don't know what moped means in the question. And this is what I'm trying to show you guys. You need to understand each and every word within the question, each and every word within the answer. It's all well and good knowing what the answer is, but if you don't know what certain words mean, you need to look it up. So like I said, that's a good question. So well done for asking it. Because when you go for the real test and it's worded differently, the understanding is going to be there. So if they word it differently, you still don't understand what moped is, it can still throw you. So as I said, well done for asking it. Some of you gone for A. The answer's D. Let me just play the video. I don't know if you can see it. Hold on one second. Let me just rewind it back. There you go. The question was, why is there a reduced speed now? You got a crossroads. The top triangle is a crossroad, and then the bottom triangle is a bend, double bend. So that's why I say watch the video twice, because you can miss the clues. So I repeat, the top triangle is a crossroads. That's why. And then you got a double bend. You should always slow down for a bend. So that's the reason why. If there's a staggered junction ahead, it was, some of you went, no, you went for A. The traffic is emerging from the left. Yeah, there was traffic in the video, but you missed the signs. Answers D. was obviously, as I said, crossroads and a double bend ahead. Right, so we are now, and someone's gone for a C. Let me just do this. Staggered junction. There was no staggered junction. Number 9. What's the purpose of road humps, chicanes, and narrowings? So what's the purpose of road humps, chicanes, and narrowings? This is number 9. Remember, if you guys got any questions, type in the comment section. Let's sort this out. Prophet, you changed your answer. Why did you go from D to B? Congratulations on passing. I'm not seeing your name before, I don't think, but well done for passing, by the way. Could you please explain what chicanes are? Yeah, I can do that. Chicanes, road humps or speed humps, otherwise worded, road humps, speed humps, same thing. Chicanes and narrowings are they're called, again, this is another way they word it on the real test, is traffic calming measures. So it's there to reduce your speed. Chicanes are like when the pavement comes out from the side, like they add on an extra bit at the side in the road. The way that I normally explain to my students is, if you ever watch Formula One, you see the red and white bits at the side, they're called chicanes. The drivers in Formula One have to slow down to go around it. Some of them drive over it, but it's not going to damage their tyres as much as it would do if you did that in real life. So the pavement, if you imagine the roads being straight, but the pavement comes out from the side, so now you reduce your speed to negotiate. That's what a chicane is. But mainly a chicane is like Formula One, the red and white bits on that. Some of you have gone for B. What's B? To separate lanes of traffic. No, once you got road humps in there, I can look for clues in the question. Road humps. You don't have to go any further. What does you do want to go further? I always say read the question fully and read the answers. But like I said, look for the clues. What's the purpose of a road hump, speed hump? To reduce your speed. You just go for the one that reduces the speed, which is A. Don't let the other little bits and pieces throw you. Chicanes and narrowings can throw you. But speed humps and road humps is always going to be the same. Reduce the speed. Sorry, number 10. When may you overtake another vehicle on the left? When may you overtake another vehicle on their left? Congratulations, Destiny Draw. Don't think I've seen your name before. Congratulations on passing, by the way. Tuesday morning, so you must be buzzing. What are you looking to do? Another taking driving lessons or book a driving test if you can find one. Failing twice. Oh look, very test 50 out of 50. Well done to you. That's massive. Getting 50 out of 50 on the real test, and 71, so 4 short of the full house. So you could have got 50 and the 75. Well done to you. That's massive. And you failed it twice before as well. That's a big step. Congratulations, by the way. Well done. You are welcome. And what are we on? These are 9, 8. We're on 10, by the way. 50 out of 50 as well. Well done to you. And 57 out of 55 videos gave me good understanding. It was sweetless. I love that, sweetless. I got a C here. I've done 18 hours. Looking to book a test when I can. If you've done 18 hours, obviously discuss it with your instructor. I don't want to start to take over, but start looking for a test. If you're 18 hours in, as long as it's consistently 18 hours, not 2 hours here, 3 months later, another 2 hours kind of thing. So you've done it over a 7-month period. Start booking for a test now and then work towards it. Because what you don't want to do is get ready for a driving test and then start looking, and then you're taking lessons when you're ready to take one. Start looking now if you've got 18 hours behind you. And like I said, as long as it's consistent. Because there's no guarantee you're going to get one anytime soon. Sorry, what are we doing? D. Again, passed the theory test. Yes, that's Saturday. Well done to you. Congratulations on passing. You guys have gone for D. Is that right? Guys have gone for D. Someone went for a C. All right, let me tick D. And someone went for a C. When the vehicle in front is seen to turn left. You can't pass them on the left if they're turning to the left. That's going to be an accident waiting to happen. So it can't be C. That's unsafe. It's interesting. Hold on, let me do this. When may you overtake another vehicle on their left? May is the key word there. When may you? Because technically passing on the left is illegal. It's called undertaking. You shouldn't do it. But when they say may, it's a certain situation that you're allowed to do it. When you're approaching a motorway slip road, definitely not. When a slower vehicle is travelling in the right-hand lane. Ooh. Let me just double check this. You guys have gone for... Sorry, I'm just going to double check your answers before I go into this now. And this is why I said read the questions and answers carefully, because I need to do this. I got D's here, I got a C. We established it can't be C. That's dangerous. D, D, D. Right, so the common answer is D, right? And I've got a B from profit. I've got a B. And I've got some B's coming around. Okay, interesting. We've got B's, D's, and C's. Right, we established C, it can't be because C is dangerous. Now, let me just read that question again. When may you overtake another vehicle on the left? When may you overtake another vehicle on the left? When approaching a motorway slip road. So we know it can't be A, because that doesn't make sense. When a slow vehicle is travelling in the right-hand lane of a dual carriage. When you're in a one-way street. The answer is B. Based on the question, may, and the key word is may. That's the key. one-way street all going in the same direction. When may, so when are you legally allowed to do it? Technically, what they're saying. It's A, it's B. Let's reveal it. Oh, reveal at the end, sorry. What number was that? Number 10. Let me just mark that down so we know, just in case it's wrong. And this is why 10B. This is why I'm saying to you, read the questions very carefully, read the answers very carefully. Some of you doing your test in 15, 20 minutes, the real test I'm talking about, 15, 20 minutes. Some of you doing mock tests. You can't do the test that quick and get a positive result, because sometimes you do need to work it out and do different scenarios, just like I did here. The advice I give, I use, as you just saw just in front of me, because you guys are going for D and it doesn't sound right. But we'll see who's right at the end. Right, so number 11. Where can you find reflective amber studs on a motorway? So where can you find reflective amber studs on a motorway? So I'll repeat, this is number 11. I think D. Well, like I said, I've marked it down. We'll see who's right. But based on the answer and the question with the mate in it, that changes the question. And this is what I'm saying about understanding. And that's worded totally different from what I'm seeing before. That's why it threw me. What's a kickdown? Kickdown is quick acceleration for automatics. So basically how it works, if you are driving on a motorway, so I just rephrase that. If you're going to join the motorway, so you're on a slip road, you need to build a speed up quickly. So in an automatic, technically there's no gear. So what you do is floor the gas to pick up the speed quickly. The car senses you trying to pick up speed, i.e. Accelerate quickly, and it kicks it down to a power gear. If you was here earlier on when we was talking about gears, it kicks it down to a power gear so you can get power to get to the speed quickly, and then it will kick it back up to the higher gear, which just maintains the speed. So kick down is quick acceleration for automatic cars. Yeah, well, I'll start looking now. That's what I would do. I would advise my people to start looking now, because you're 18 hours in, and hopefully you'll get one sooner rather than later, and then you can work towards it. If you're not ready, also you're gonna have to push it back. What I would suggest you do, everyone's doing this, it may not work for you. Monday mornings, get up 10 to 6, 5 to 6, yes, AM. And log into the DVSA website. At 6 o'clock, they release new test dates every Monday, and you may pick up one in your local area. Like I said, it may not work for you because in the first couple of Mondays, you may have to do it over a period of time, but because everyone's doing it, so you may get a driving test that way. And obviously log on different times, different days, morning, noon and night, because people do cancel, but you do need to be online at the time. But the best possible way at this precise moment, Monday mornings, 10 to 6, 5 to 6, log on, have your driver's license ready and the method payment, and hopefully you can pick up one of the new dates at 6 AM. And we're on number 11. I'm going to say you guys are agreed on this one, but even though you agreed on the last one, it sounded like it was wrong. 11D is what you guys gone for. Right, let me just quickly explain with the studs. I like to give tips as well. With the stud questions, they're going to ask in one of two ways. Where can you find the reflective studs on the motor, amber studs on the motorway? So they're either going to give you the color or location. Once they give you the color or location, what you want to do is, I can't draw on screen with this on the app. Go to the word motorway and then isolate the RWA in the word motorway. And that will tell you where you're going to find it. So they told you the color in this question, which is amber. The A is on the right hand side of the R and W, hence why it is D. Let me show you something on this app as well. Take note of the question, where can you find reflective amber studs on the motorway? So with the app, the 4-in-1, this is why I like to use it. Take note, the question is now changed. You're traveling on a motorway, where would you find reflective amber studs? Okay, let me just do it again. Where would you encounter reflective amber studs on a motorway? So notice how the app is changing the question, and it's still, even though the question has changed, same answer. Amber studs, that's the color. A is on the right, so it's going to be the right hand side. If they said to you near the Central Reservation, for example, then the Central Reservation is your location. It's on the right, same answer. And this is what I'm saying about understanding the question, because when it's worded differently, it still leads to the same answer. That's number 11. This is number 12. This is a case study. What's the speed limit on this road? So let me play the video. So what's the speed limit on this road? I'll play it twice because there's a clue in the video. Let me just enlarge the video slightly. So let me play it again. So what's the speed limit for this road was the question. So number 12, this is number 12. How many months can I use to study and book my test, please? And what link can I join to add my learning? How many months can I use to study and book my test, please? And what link can I join to add? I don't understand your question. You can study as long as you want. How many months can I? You got to reword your question. My brain's not comprehending that. How many months? You can study as long as you want. You don't want to study for months, but you can study as long as you want. And the link to join to add to my learning. If you're talking about booking the theory test, that's the DVS. Or you're talking about the study camp. Right, let me just clarify. You can study as long as you want, which you don't want to do. 30 days is a sweet spot. And it's the DVSA link, dvsa.gov.uk, book a theory test, and it's £23. If there's sites that make them look like DVSA sites, if they're charging more than 23, it's the wrong site. If you're talking about the study camp, the link is in the description. I'll put the link in the comment section again, so it's just popped up in the comment section. And with the study camp, you stay in there as long as it takes to pass. So if you are failing on a regular basis, you shouldn't be. Because if you are, you're not taking my advice. But if you are in there for 4 or 5 months, you've got access to everything for the 4 or 5 months. I will guide you when to book your test as well, because I can see your results from the Theory Test Pro app, if that's what you're talking about. But I fully understand life gets in the way. I've got some students in there that's been in there for quite a while, but that's because they're struggling with work and family. That's understandable. But you don't really want to be studying for months. So hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, just type your question in, but in a way that I can understand it. Because my dyslexia brain is not picking up on what you said. 30 miles an hour. Yes, I always do has perception. 12. I got a D. That's the wrong link I put in there. Sorry, it's supposed to be this one. If you've got a question, put a Q semicolon. But the link for the study camp is now in there. I got A. Right, you guys are kind of mixed on this. I got A's and I got D's. D 60. Why would you think it's 60 miles an hour? The road is narrow. Oh, what do you think it's 60 miles an hour? Let me quickly show you why it's 30 miles an hour, just in case you guys haven't picked up on it. Let me rewind that back quickly. Got street lights in that image, and as you go through the video, you got another street light. Street lights suggest it's 30 miles an hour, built up area, just in case you didn't know. So that's why it's 30 miles an hour. You're traveling along a single track road. There's a passing place on your right. What should you do if you see a vehicle coming towards you? So this is number 13. Yeah, it's weird because some of you from the last question thought it was 60 miles an hour. Remember, if you guys got any questions, type in the comment section. Let me answer all of that before we sign up for the day. Let's see you there. See. Got D. You guys are split on this. Got C's and D's. It's interesting. And I know why you guys are split on this as well. Because this question comes up worded similar with sorry, connection lost, please. I missed the question I asked. Let me come back to that. I got a D. All right. Let me break this down. Like I said, again, this always comes back to understanding. Some of the questions are worded similar, but different outcomes. And this is what I'm talking about, understanding it. Once you study and study and study, you see questions and the brain just kind of recognize the answer. And sometimes it recognizes the wrong answer. Let me break this down for you. You're traveling along a single track road. There's a passing place on your right. What should you do if you see a vehicle coming towards you? So it's a single track road. There's a passing place on your right. Because we drive on the left with images. If you follow my videos, always go from bottom to top. So you're going up on the left, a passing place on the right. So some of you got wait opposite the passing place. If it's on the right, you're stopping opposite the passing place. With driving lessons, we call it a meeting situation. On your driving test, the examiner's going to take you on narrow roads, hoping that you apply this rule if it happens. And some of you have gone for D, stop in the passing place. Now, if you stop in the passing place, you're now going to be stopping on the wrong side of the road. So you're stopping on the left, but stopping opposite. So you're making the road as wide as possible. That's the reason why it's C and not D, by the way. So hopefully that makes sense. Right, so this is number, move it on, 14. You have stopped in an emergency area. What must you do before you rejoin the carriageway? Right, so the question you asked was how long you, let me see if I can find it. Makes life a lot easier, but it wasn't worded that my brain could pick it up properly. Here it is. How many months can I use to study and book my tests, please? And what link can I join to add my learning? I think you're talking about the study camp now. And more times I read it, the more I'm thinking you're talking about the study camp. Once you join the study camp, you're in it until you pass. So you've got access to everything, all the training sessions every single week, the review sessions until you pass. The sweet spot, I keep saying, is about 30 days. If you're talking about the link to join the study camp, that's in the description and it's in the comment section. The other time when I first read it, I wasn't sure what you're talking about. If you're talking about general studying, you can study as long as you want. That choice is yours. And if you're going to use the link to book your theory test, that is the DVSA website, dvsa.gov.uk, and book theory tests. But if you're talking about the study camp, stay in there as long as you need and use the link in the description to book it, or the link in the comments. So hopefully that answers that. And what are we on? 14. Let's find the 14s. No, unfortunately, like, 'cause I'm using the app, for me to show the number, the wording is going to be too small. This is the largest I can get the wording up, but I can't show the number. As I'm telling you what the number is, number 14. So I'm sorry to confuse you, Samuel. Well, it's like you guys agreed on this one. It's A. And again, if you read the question, you've stopped in an emergency area, use the emergency telephone as a connection, a link. So number 15, what will happen if your car wheels are unbalanced? So 15, what will happen if your car wheels are unbalanced? Waiting for the link. Again, if you're waiting for the study camp link, it's in the description and it's in the comment section. I repeat, this is number 15. I repeat, if you guys got any questions, that's why I'm live. Ask away, especially if we've got tests coming up soon. Got a B here. A and B's very close to being the same answer. But let me explain the difference. If your wheels are unbalanced, what it means by wheels being unbalanced, talking about the front wheels, by the way, one wheel is slightly higher than the other. That's all it means. When they say unbalanced, I've got a B here as well. Just in case I ask you the reason for it, this is again on the real test, not on the apps. Driving too fast, speed humps, potholes, and mounting the pavement, driving up the pavement to park and then coming down the side. Because obviously if you're going over the speed hump, one wheel slightly too high, and potholes and stuff like that. So if the wheels are unbalanced, like I said, one wheel slightly higher, when you're driving, you're going to feel that vibration in the steering wheel because the front wheels are connected to the steering wheel. Now, someone's gone for a B. Let me just make sure it's the right answer. Steering wheel vibrate. Steering wheel pulled to one side. Now, when the steering pulls to one side, that's tracking. That's a different question. So again, that question comes up on the real test. What is, if your car pulls to one side, what's the reason for it? It's one of two reasons. One, because let me explain what tracking is first of all. You're driving on the straight road, keeping it simple, driving on a very straight road. The steering wheel is kept straight when you're driving, but the car is drifting left or drifting to the right, even though you're not turning the wheel. The wheels are not straight, they're off center. And that's what tracking is. The wheels are facing to the left or facing to the right, so the car drifts left or right, even though you're not turning the wheel. That's what tracking is. The other reason is because your brake pads are worn, but it's normally if you're braking and the car pulls to one side, what's the reason for it? It's your brake pads are worn out unevenly. That's the two reasons. But tracking is when the car shifts left or right. Steering vibration is when the wheels are unbalanced. You feel it in the steering wheel. So it is actually A. B, for those of you that went for B, that's tracking. What should you expect if you see this sign ahead? Again, like I said, with the 4-in-1 app, you can just tap on it, it enlarges and look for clues within that. This is number 16. So we are now on 16. These A's have just come through. As I was saying, if you guys got any questions before we sign out, feel free to drop them in the comment section about Q semicolon. You guys are going for D. Yeah, the arrows are facing left. So what you want to do is isolate the ones that's got a left in the answer. That's your clue. And it's only one, which is D. So sharp, they got here, the road will bend sharply to the left. On the real test, they use words like sharp deviation to the left. Come for C. C is right. The arrows are facing left. That's what I said. Look for the clues. If you look at the image carefully, the arrows are facing left. So you want to answer with left in it. All right, number 17. Which driving technique can help you save fuel? So number 17. Which driving technique can help you save fuel? So number 17. We've got A, 17A. I'm going to put these up. I'm assuming you guys mean 17A. Let me just reword the question, say something a minute. 17A is what you guys are going for. Let me reword that. Which driving technique can help you save fuel? What driving technique can assist in saving fuel? What driving method helps you reduce fuel consumption? Got a D here. Sam, you've gone for a D. Oh, got some D's here. Automatic drivers. Samuel, Grace, Faith. Are you guys taking or looking to take automatic lessons? Just type yes or no in the comment section for me. I've got a D. What was it? Samuel, Grace, Faith. Are you guys looking to take automatic driving lessons? The answer's A, missing out gears. It's called block gear change, which is also another theory test question. Eco-safe driving. How can you save the planet environment? One of the options is missing out gears. You skip gears to save fuel in the long run. For those of you doing manual lessons, that's what the examiner would like you to see, skip gears. So number 18. What does the lines along the center right? It's a video. Let me play the video. So the question is, what does the lines along the center of the road mean? What do the lines along the center of the road mean? I'm taking auto 2. I've not heard back from those guys. Looking for a manual. Okay. We're number 18. When you say you're looking to do manual, or are you doing manual already? Right, B for hazard lines. Yeah, if you watch the video as well, hazard lines, let me just do this. Hazard lines lets you know there's a hazard coming. It doesn't tell you what the hazard is. It just tells you there's a problem coming up. And if you watch the video, you got the bend, which is the problem, hence why the hazard line's on. The two common places where you see hazard lines are bends and on approach to a giveaway line. There's 5 of them as you approach the giveaway, so it lets you know there's a hazard. So that's why I said watch the video. The hazard is the bend, not the tractor. I've got a C. No overtaking. No overtaking would be, first of all, you have a red circle, and it would be a double solid white line in the middle of the road, not single. Another case study. What's the speed limit for the car towing the caravan on this road? Again, let me play the video. So it's asking what's the speed limit for the car towing the caravan. It's number 19, by the way. So 19, what's the speed limit for the car towing the caravan on this road? And some bees have just come through. Let me show these. I'm yet to do it. I intend to do manual. Okay, no problem. Trisha, I've not seen your name before, so welcome. My name is, just skipped all these comments. My name is Trisha. How are you doing today? I'm fine. First of all, don't give up. You said you fell 3 times. I got no data. It's hard to coach somebody on a live session. When was your last test? Is the question I would ask. What score did you get on the last test? And I'll pass on my next one soon. Have you got a test date booked? Would be the questions I'm asking. So my question would be, what score did you get on the last test? If you want to share that here. And have you got another one booked? But definitely don't give up. If you give up, you're not going to pass. 19. Oh, by the way as well, Patricia, thank your friend for recommending the channel. I got a D. I appreciate you guys sharing the channel as well, because it is growing. And that's because you guys are sharing it with your friends and all the comments you make on there as well. So I appreciate that. I think I've got a D on there. Oh, you guys are split. Got A's and D's. A's and D's. 50 miles an hour is a D, 60 is A. All right, let me just quickly explain. Pause it. It's a dual carriageway. For those of you who don't know what a dual carriageway is, a dual carriageway is a central reservation in the middle, a crash barrier in the middle. Again, I can't point. So if you look at where that black truck is on the right hand side, there's a barrier that can't go over. So it's two carriageways where you got the lorry, the heavy goods vehicle on the right. That's one carriageway. And where let me just forward this a little bit. And where the caravan is swinging, that's two carriageways. I always say to my students in the study camp, know what you can do as a car driver because you're taking a car theory test. So as a car driver on a dual carriageway, you can do 70 miles an hour. So all you got to do now when the questions asked about towing and heavy goods, you just take off 10. And it's simple. So you can do 70, take off 10, it's 60. So it's the answer is A. 50 miles an hour would be a single carriageway. As I said, that's a dual carriageway with that. So we are now on number 20. Where may you overtake on a one-way street? I repeat the question. Where may you again, may changes the context of the answer. So where may you overtake on a one-way street? All right, so let me just take a look at some of this. In B motion. Got exam tomorrow. I wish you luck with that. Again, if you've got any questions before we sign out, ask away. But good luck tomorrow with the exam, and please come back next week. Let us know how you got on. On the motorway, you drop it. Yeah. But as it's easiest ways that I can do 670, just take 10 off. Dual carriageway or motorway. Anything towing, take 10 off. It's not the wrong thing to do. Back in the day, when I learned to drive, when cars were older, there wasn't even 6 gears in cars when I learned to drive. It was only 5. We had to go through the gears. But now with the way the brakes work on cars, engine braking, they like you to skip gears. You're not going to fail your driving test if you don't skip gears. But that's what the examiner would like you to do because it's eco-safe driving, which is part of your driving test as well. So skipping gears, and what I mean by skipping gears, if you're on a motorway, dual carriageway doing 70 miles an hour and you're trying to build the speed up quickly, when I teach my students in the manual, their version of kick down is literally going to second gear, power gear, put your foot down on the gas pedal, build the speed up, and then we go from 2 to 4, and then we go 4 to 6. That's how we skip gears. And then when we're coming down gears, so for example, they're doing 70 miles an hour, doing their speed work. If the lights was red, I don't get them to go 6, 5, 4, 3, so that's a waste of time. Just use the brake, slow the car down, get the average speed for first gear, and then we go from 6 straight to 1. It's less hassle. And the way that I teach my students, less is more. So if you're doing less gear changes, you achieve more, less chance of making wrong gear changes, stalling the car, blah, blah, blah. So that's what it helps. But overall, it's eco-safe driving, but you can skip gears, it's not wrong. But I repeat, you're not going to fail your driving test if you don't. I don't do percentages, so I'm assuming 80% average is good, but I don't do percentages. I just do scores because your theory tests they don't give you a percentage. But like I said, if you're getting 82% average on your mocks, then that's got to be decent, but ideally in scores. Your test is in June. Why so far away? We're in April now, May. Then again, it's not that far because it's May, a couple of weeks from now, isn't it? Again, the link is in the description and in the comment section. What's the average time for a theory test? I understand the practical test is currently around September. Every center is different. That's why with Sadat, I was wondering why June. But I do know from talking to the guys in my class that some test centres, even when I've gone in there to check for them, the waiting time is long. So it depends on what area you are. In London, we got so many to choose from, it's ridiculous. But if you live in a certain area and you've only got one, then the waiting time could be long. Because this time of year, it does get busy. So check on your local website is what I would suggest for that. All right, let me reveal the answer for this first of all. Let me just get the stuff up. Let me start this and come back to that. Right, you guys seem to be agreeing on this one's D. Right, D. Yeah, with one-way, again, a little tip for you guys. With one-way roads, one-way streets, they can word it either way. Dual carriageway, motorways, unless they tell you different, always see it as 3 lanes. Because the common answer to this is overtaking is not allowed. It's normally A, overtaking is not allowed. And the reason why that's the common answer, because everybody sees the one-way road when they ask the question, one-way street in this one. They see it as 1 lane, which means if it's only 1, then you shouldn't be overtaking. But if you see it as 3 lanes, then you can pass left, middle, or right. It makes no difference. That's why the answer is what it is. So always, I repeat, one-way roads, one-way streets, motorways, dual carriageway, always see it as 3 lanes unless they tell you something different. With the ferry test, they ask certain questions, but they don't give you the full background information. I don't know how they expect you to know the full details. They don't give it to you. So in this case, it's 3 lanes. That's where you can pass either right or left. All right, so 19 out of 20, there's a question wrong somewhere. And I've got a funny feeling it's number 10. Number 10. So those of you that went for D, when you're in a one-way street, is correct. Which doesn't make sense. I'll tell you why. Because it says here, when may you overtake another vehicle on their left? The answer that I've got is when a slower vehicle is travelling in the right-hand lane of a dual carriageway. If a vehicle is travelling slower on the right-hand lane of a dual carriageway, you can pass it on the left legally. Reason why, because you can't slow down to match the speed. But they've got here on a one-way street, which to me doesn't make sense. But that's what they go for. That's what they're going for. That's the way it is. But I know the question when it says when may you overtake, which is undertaking, technically you can pass on the left-hand side of a vehicle on a dual carriageway or motorway because you can't slow down to match their speed. So we have to agree to disagree on that one. But there you go. So that's 20 questions, 19 out of 20. Always check your answers when you get it wrong to work out why. I can't understand why that's wrong, by the way. Because if you go back to number 20, let me just show you. It says, where may you overtake on a one-way street, either right or left? So you can overtake on the right or left, but you also can pass on the left on the dual carriageway and the motorway because you can't slow down on their motorway. Someone's going slow in the right-hand lane. But as I said, we agree to disagree on that one. And if you've got 19 out of 20, 20 out of 20, 17, 18 out of 20, you're still passing the test itself anyway. Let me just come out of that. So I'm going to do a hazard perception in a minute. If you guys got any questions, feel free to jot them in before we sign out, especially if you've got a test coming up. I just want to... well done to you. I'll be honest, if I was taking my test, the real test, and that question came up, I would still be going for B as well. All right, let me just quickly tidy up these class comments. What should... I'm assuming you mean I do my exam. What should I do my exam tomorrow? Read the questions carefully, read the answers carefully, take your time. Take deep breaths when you're in there, especially answering the question. Do not answer a question if you feel stressed. That's where you want to either flag it, move on, and then come back to it. But always take deep breaths. It sounds kind of weird. The brain needs oxygen. So if you ever feel stressed answering a question, take a deep breath, sit back in your seat, just chill, because you've got 57 minutes, more than enough time. Do not try to answer the question while you're stressed, because the brain will just take an answer just to get out of the stressful state. So that's what I would do, take my time. Arrive early tomorrow. It says arrive 15 minutes beforehand. I would arrive half an hour to 45 minutes beforehand and go in there early. Don't sit outside and wait to the appointed time. They will, if they've got spare seats, they will get you in early. I always tell my students to turn up early, an hour before, whatever it is, go in there and take your test, get everyone done with. Don't sit outside pacing up and down if you're early and doing mock tests, especially if the mock test doesn't go according to plan on your phone. Well, that's what I would do tomorrow if I do test. What's the difference between a slip road and a hard shoulder? The difference is a hard shoulder for emergencies only, runs alongside for motorway, most of it all the way up. The slip road is where you join the motorway from an exit. So you drive on the slip road to build your speed up to 70 miles an hour and then join the main carriageway. A hard shoulders for emergencies only if you're broken down. Thank you, appreciate that. What's the pass mark for this particular module? The pass mark is 43 out of 50. Aim for 50 out of 50. That way, if you fall short, you should still pass. But 43 is the minimum, and 44 on hazard perception, which I'm going to do in a minute. I'm aware I can skip gears when returning from speed gear to slow gear, or from a low gear to a high gear, not skipping from 1 to 2 to 4 or 5. You can go from any number to any number. Gears are speed related. You do the speed first, then choose the gear to match the speed. So gears are speed related. You have to do the speed first and then choose the gear to match your speed. Okay. They're not necessarily talking about slower vehicles. They're talking about traffic going slowly. You can have people in the right-hand lane because everybody thinks the right-hand lane is a faster lane, which it isn't. So everyone talks about going in the fast lane. Now, if you get too many people in there, it can become congested and they're just driving slower, not because of their slow vehicles. It's just too many people's in there compared to the middle lane or left lane. Do you know why I have to be there 15 minutes early? Yeah, because they got to check you out. They take their security seriously in there. So what I suggest you do is travel light. Only take stuff that you need to take with you. Don't go and take stuff you don't need, because they check you out properly in some cases. So they may ask you to remove your jewelry, necklaces, hairbands, belts in some situations that I know of. They check inside your socks to make sure you're not carrying anything. So all those checks take a certain time. So they're giving they're giving themselves 15 minutes to get all that done and get you seated, so not to disturb everybody else. That's the reason why. What's the best categories to study for guaranteed pass? I'm not even going to answer that. If you want the best guaranteed to pass, study every single category. You're looking for shortcuts, I don't give shortcuts. I'm aware I've done that one already. Good morning, I passed my very test, 43, 51, that's perception, thank you, appreciate it. Alf, I've not seen your name before, I don't think, so welcome first and foremost. Thank you for coming to the session, and I appreciate, again, this is the teacher in me. You got 43, congratulations on passing, but I will still brush up on that, especially if it's, look at the categories that you got the questions wrong in, especially if it's road signs, rules of the road. that type of thing, because you're going to need that knowledge for the driving test. The amount of students that come to me, I've already passed my theory, blah blah blah, and then when we go out driving, they don't even know what a giveaway line is, they don't know what a triangle means. So just brush up on that, because the last thing that I don't like doing is sitting at the roadside talking about the theory when they say they've already passed it. As a driving instructor, we have to fill in those blanks because you need that knowledge, but you want to be driving. So I'll just brush up on that. But like I said, that's the teacher in me. When someone gets 43. Is June not good enough for a test? I want to, if I can shift forward or backwards. I can't answer. I don't know first of all, I don't know what your test center's like. If June is the only available time at this point, take it, because obviously if you try to change it, you're now looking at July, August. I don't know how much work you're putting in. As I said, I've got students in the study camp who's been in there for a long while, but they got life going on, work, family, blah, 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 which is understandable. If you are putting in a decent amount of studying time, I wouldn't wait to June. That's the only reason I'm saying, because as I said earlier on, I don't know if he was here, 30 days is a sweet spot. Once you keep studying on the app, you're going to exhaust the 774 questions, and then it becomes a memorizing exercise after that, because the same questions, the same hazard perception videos pop up again and again and again, and there's no extra training material outside of that, because the DVSA only releases those 774 questions. So you don't want to get in a situation where when you see the question, I know what the answer is, where the question, I know what the answer is. You don't want to get in that situation. And once you go over 30 days, if you study on a regular basis, then you're now going to that category. Obviously, if you're studying once or twice a week, then that's going to take you over the 30. That's fine. But if you're studying like every other day for a good length of time, at some point you exhaust the 774 questions and becomes a memorizing exercise. Again, not deliberately memorizing the exercise, but that's what it becomes. I think that's the last one on there. There's comments. All right, so let me do hazard perception. Before I do that, like I always like to do, is show you guys, shut it down, the driving test report sheet. So I need to flip my iPad around this way now. And we go to this one. So that's the driving test report sheet. You'll get a copy of this, pass or fail your driving test. So what we just did is your theory. Let me just quickly, if you remember, there's a question about a passing place. And I said to you, there's a meeting situation on your driving test, and that's box 22, judgment, meeting. So that's the box it would get marked in. So if you didn't know about passing places where you didn't pull into or stop opposite, that's where it gets marked in. Road markings, traffic signs, road markings, traffic lights, traffic controllers, other road use. That's your theory right there. Colour of traffic lights and stuff like that. Your pelicans, your puffins, toucans, that's box 24. Position normal stops, not near a zigzag, more than 10 meters away from a junction, not near a bend or on a bend, brow of a hill. That's the position, because on your driving test you're going to get parked up on the left a minimum of 3 times. So he would just say to you, I'd like you to park up somewhere safe, legal and convenient, and he's watching where you choose to park up. And some of the theory test questions, more than 10 meters away, not near a brow of a hill, a bridge, stuff like that. That's the box it gets marked in. So that's your theory kind of there. We spoke about gear questions. For some of you taking automatic, the answer to the gear questions. If you look at box 12, gears, for those of you doing manual. So again, it would go in there. And box, I can't remember, I think it's Samuel. Yeah, skipping gears, eco-safe driving. If you look at box 28, box 28, eco-safe driving, skipping gears, driving fuel efficient. You can't fail your test for that, I repeat, but you can pick up 2 faults, one for control and one for planning in that situation. Then we move on to hazard perception. Your hazard perception, if you didn't know, when you're clicking, is you checking the mirrors. So if you're driving in life, real life, in the video, saw the problem, where you're clicking to get your 5s and 4s, you are checking the mirrors to see what's happening behind you. So you use the mirrors before you signal, change your direction and change your speed. So that's what you're clicking on the videos for. You won't be doing it for the signals on the videos because you can't see the car signaling. But for change of direction, slowing down. So a hazard, let me come out of this. A hazard is anything that's going to cause you to slow down or change direction. So if you feel that you need to be using the brake to slow down in the video, you should be clicking. If you feel that you need to move the steering wheel to move the car left or right, you need to be clicking. And you want to click twice per problem. On the videos, it says if you click nice and early, you get the highest mark. What they're not telling you, if you click too early outside of the countdown window, this is the 5, that's the 1. If you click outside of the window, you're going to get 0. So it's not about you seeing the problem, it's about you getting a score for the problem. Because you can see it, doesn't mean you're going to get a score for it. So the way to beat the system is to click twice. See the problem, click once, go 1, 2, click again, and hopefully you get a 5 or a 4. If the first one was too early, it should be 5 or 4 for the second one. If you got a 5 for the first one, it's going to be a 3 for the second one, but they give you the highest mark. There's no benefit in clicking once per problem. You run the risk of getting zeros. So hopefully that makes sense. Let me just see if there's any comments on it before I move on. I will keep studying sometime. It's not necessarily about watching my videos. It's just a case that you got 43. What I would do, like I said, is look at the categories you got the questions wrong in. And if you've got rules of the road, for example, and signs wrong, just revisit. Especially if it was signs, for example, you know what signs you got on a real test. Just make sure it's not signs you're going to need for your driving test, because sometimes they show you some obscure signs that you're never really going to come across on your driving lessons. That's the only reason why I'm saying just brush up on that, because I've used myself as an example when students have already passed their theory test, not with me, because if they pass with me, they know certain stuff. But they've already passed, they come for driving lessons, and like I said, they don't even know what a give way line is. And now we're sitting at the side of the road to explain what a give way sign is. They don't know what a triangle means. I'm sitting at the side of the road to explain what a triangle means. Just save yourself time and money, because you want to be driving. I want to teach someone to drive, not sitting at the side discussing the theory if they've already passed it. That's all I'm saying. All right, so let me do a demonstration. So we've got this one now, practice video clips. Right, so there's two types of hazards two type of video clips when you study. And one of them is real life clips that you can see, and the other one is CGI. When you go for the real test, it's all CGIs. There's no real life clips. When you are practicing at home, if your scores are low on the real life, it could just be the scoring is poor because the timing's off, or the quality of the video is poor, so you can't see the hazard until you're on top of it. So don't be too hard on yourself. But the CGI ones, if your score's low on the CGIs, you want to be concerned and definitely improve on that. So I'll do two. I'll do a CGI and a real life, but we'll start with the real life first, so I can find no stars. So this one here, video 52, no stars. So let's do this one together. The lorry signaling. So when you're watching the videos, you want to be scanning from left to right, right to left. And it's coming back. And the reason why you want to be scanning from left to right, right to left, because road signs are on the pavement, which is on your right or left. Can't see nothing else going on. I'm going to click because of the truck next to me is kind of swerving all over the place as far as I'm concerned. Can still see nothing else going on, that's why I'm not clicking. 50 miles an hour speed drop. Countdown markers to my left. 5 out of 5. So always review it back to see how you can improve. So as I said, the lorry's signalling to change lanes. That's why I gave a signal, because if he took a long time to do it, I'm gonna have to slow down to allow him to complete the lane change. That's why I check my mirrors. And then if you watch, you probably can't see it, but the car in front is braking in front of the lorry, and that's why he's changing lanes. When you start taking driving lessons, you start to read the road ahead rather than just watching the lorry. So I'm seeing the car in front, and this is the driving instructor in me. The car in front is starting to brake, which means the lorry's going to have to start to brake. And in this case, he's changing lanes on me, and that's why I've clicked. So you can see my first one was a 5 just about, and my second one was a 2. But they gave me the highest score for the first click, and that's why I said there's no benefits in clicking once. Click twice per problem. So let me just see if there's any comments on that before we move on. Okay, there's no comments on that, so you guys just seem to be happy with that. So we do CGI. This one was dark, but let's do this no stars. So again, watching the road ahead from left to right, the lorry on my left and the car on my right. Right, the lorry's starting to swerve all over the place. I'm clicking for that. The car's coming on my right, just overtook me, so I can keep my eye on him. The lorry's now changing lanes. I'm going to click again for this car slowing right down, brake lights. Always keep going just in case it's your double. Remember, one of them's got a 2 hazards on the video, so it could be right at the beginning and right at the end. You just never know. Got a triangle to my left, speed cameras. Again, still watching the lorry, still watching the car to my right, 5 out of 5. Again, I'm going to speed up for the sake of the video. So the lorry started to swerve, I think it was. There's his swinging, so I clicked for that straight away, because you always want to, what if he's going to cause me a problem, always be armed with that. So that's why I've checked my mirrors at that point. And then you actually change lanes as well. No signal from him either. So again, 5 and click again. That's a 3 for my second click. Let me just show you again. He's now crossing the white line. So look at his movement. And so my click comes in, and I clicked again because the car in front actually got his brake lights on. It's actually caused me to stop virtually in that one. So you click again, so 2 clicks per problem. Let me just show you that again. So my first 2 clicks is for the lorry changing lanes. And then my second set of clicks is for the car with the brake lights on. And that's the reason why you go for 2 clicks per problem. So let's take a look with that. No comments, so you guys seem to be happy with that. So if that's the case, then I'm gonna let you guys go. If you got a test coming up this week, like I said, I wish you the best of luck with that. If you got a test coming up, I'm here next Sunday, like Sadat, for example. Your test is in June. June's not that far off. But like I said, I can't answer. Let me just put your comment back up. I can't answer if that's a suitable time for you, because I don't know how much work you are putting in between now and then. Only you can answer that. Right, some questions are coming in. But like I said, if you've got a test, I wish you best of luck with it. If you haven't, and you're just studying, I'm here next week. Jot down any questions while you are studying, and then bring it along. I can answer it. How many times do I have to click? If you're thinking about how many times you got to click, you're thinking about it wrong. That's the wrong way of thinking. I didn't work at how many times I'm clicking. I see a problem, I'm clicking. If you are going to go into the test working at how many times you can click per video, it's the wrong mindset. And I'm going to tell you why. I've had students in the past come to me, failed hazard perception, because they was told they can click 10 to 12 times per video. They counted their clicks as they're going through the video. They've used their 10 to 12 clicks up. They stopped clicking. The hazard was near the end of the video. So guess what? They didn't click because they thought they had 12 clicks, which means they failed. If you are worrying about how many times you're going to click per video, it's the wrong mindset. You see a problem, you click twice. That's all it is. If you're doing that, you're never going to add up to too many clicks. If you're clicking on random stuff that don't exist, that's never going to call you to slow down, then yeah, you need to be worried. But that's not because of the amount of times you're clicking, because you don't know what a hazard is. So repeat, don't worry about the amount of times you're clicking, just click for problems that exist. Anything that's going to call you to slow down or change direction, you click. Simple as that. It will never add up to too many times unless you're clicking 4 or 5 times for those problems. If you follow the 2-click method per problem, nothing to worry about. But once you start worrying about how many clicks per video, you're asking to fail. That's what you're doing, to be fair. What method do you think is best for the hazard perception part? For 2-click or 3-click method? Do what's best for you. Practice. That's what practicing at home is, mock test. I teach 2. I know some people out there teach 3. Again, it's not going to be too much. If you're clicking on things that exist, it's not going to be too much. If you've got 3 problems on the video, and 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, they ain't going to kick you out with that. So do what's best for you. If you watch some of my hazard perception videos, I think I've messed up, I will just throw in a 3rd click. I would do whatever it takes to get me the score. So some of them I would do 2. If I think I've messed up, I'll add a 3, because I'd rather get a 2 or a 1 than get a 0, because 2 or a 1 is going to add up to the rest of my scores to get my 44. A 0 gives me nothing to add on to my 44. So do what's best for you. Someone else has asked that already. A moped is just a motorbike with less power. That's a simple way of doing it. 2 wheels, motorbike, less power. And a moped, if you look around, your pizza delivery, your delivery drivers, they ride the mopeds. That's what it is. All of them got L plates on because they're allowed to ride those first before they go into the bigger bikes. So a moped is just a bike with less power. That's the way you want to look at it. But the Deliveroo and pizza delivery guys that ride the mopeds. Bella's got a test on, I don't know if it's a he or she. They have their test on Thursday. I wish you the best luck with that. Come back next week and let us know how you got on. The one thing I would say about hazard perception before I sign out, you guys worry about it too much. You're at home, you practice. Practice makes you better. It doesn't make you perfect, it makes you better. If you are failing at home, you're failing at home. That's the place to be failing. You learn from the mistakes, hopefully. And then when you go for the real test, you pass it. What you don't want to do is go for the real test and fail it. So failing at home is not a problem. I just showed you just now with question number 10. I got that question wrong because I overthought it. My thinking behind it, dual carriageway, blah, 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 and all the rest of it. I get questions wrong. It's life. There's nothing wrong with that. You learn from it. And again, if that question comes up next week, I would choose the same answer because as far as I'm aware, you pass vehicles on the left when you pass vehicles on the left on the dual carriageway motorway when they're going slow in the right-hand lane. That's standard. And I would still choose that same answer because that's what I teach all my driving lessons. If we're on the dual carriageway and someone's in the right-hand lane and they're going slower, my pupil's passing them on the left. That's what I teach. That's what the exam expects. But anyway, the point I'm making is do not be afraid to mess up and make mistakes. You learn from it. It makes you stronger. So when you go for the real test now, you're passing it. So trial and error at home. That's what the whole point of practicing is. That's the last comment I've got on there. Got test on Thursday. So Bella, like I said, I wish you luck with it. And please come back next week and let us know. Hopefully it's a positive result. For those of you who are still studying, like I said, while you're studying, jot down your questions, bring it along. Yes, you can message me. Can I email you my last test result or do I need to sign up? yeah, by all means, email me. I will add, and you may not get a response straight away because I've got a busy week this week. But yeah, email it. Just email it. Like I said, I try to respond to all the emails as outside of the study group. Yeah, I'll try to help as many people as I possibly can. Yeah, so as I said, while you're studying, because these headphones are killing me. While you're studying, write down any questions you may have, bring it to the live sessions. Let's get that cleared up. That's why I go live, to answer your personal questions, your personal thought process. Outside of that, have a safe week, and I will see you next Sunday. Take care. Enjoy the weather while it's here. See you next week. Take care.